I'm going to talk about something you talked about last week, but so I'll just talk about it quickly. The Long Walk, the Stephen King short, now a movie. It's yeah, it's exactly what it says on the tin.
Yep.
But while you're watching, you don't want it to be. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
It's the sort of movie that you don't want to happen, but you know that what's going to happen is going to happen. Um, Mark Hamill plays a great major, menacing character. I like him in this kind of role. I want to see him do more. Kind of
Mm-hmm.
beard, authoritarian. Does it very well. Uh, I like the fact that you aren't told much about this Earth or this world, what history it is. You kind of get a sense of when it is, and you get to piece together through what you're seeing as they're walking as to what's going on. So a little bit of dialogues like it's a war, there's a reason why we do this, stuff happening around them, signs, people, poverty, that kind of stuff. You piece together. So the film is intelligent that way. So even though it's just a film about walking, it's about everything that's going on and the reason why they're walking. And all the actors I thought were phenomenal. Like there are some that you love to hate, there's some that you are just wanting to, and you there are some that you're wanting to not be there and you're wondering why they chose to be there, but the story kind of explains why they're there. It's very Hunger Games like that,
Mm-hmm.
but it's the conversations with these young men that happen along the way that makes you fall in love with the characters, which is devastating to a film where there can only be one winner. So,
I agree.
um, yeah, except there's like 10,000 of them. Yeah, how can there only be one if there's 10,000 of you? Anyway, uh, there. Yeah, I don't know how much rewatchability this film has. I think that's the biggest.
Hmm.
Like thinking that if I would go back to watch it, the mystery isn't there anymore. So then it's the enjoyment of the story. But because I know what happens at the end, I'm like, yeah, great film. Doesn't mean that you shouldn't go and watch it. If you want something that's devastatingly beautiful, has something to say, then definitely watch that. But I would also say maybe go home, talk about it with whoever you watched it with, or and then maybe have a palate cleanser for something a little happier because it's very relevant to what's happening on our planet right now.
That's why I loved it. That it's the book is kind of set in the '60s,
Hmm.
during Vietnam, and that's what the aesthetic is in the movie. But that it doesn't state it, so it could really be timeless. You know what I mean? Like if you look at the Hunger Games, they
Hmm.
look kind of like they're in the '40s, right? Their
Yeah,
clothing and
I
everything
mean,
else.
yeah. So it could. The book maybe states that it's in there, but there's more going on with like in the movie at least about like
Yes.
stuff that's happening because yeah, that obviously didn't happen.
Yeah.
Um, so
I loved the dialogue in this. It
mm,
was just, I mean, because you're right on the tin. It's exactly what it is, and they tell you right off the bat, this you're gonna walk until only one of you is left. Okay, there's no more mystery in this, right? I mean,
yeah,
other than who is going to be the person who's going to die first, who's going to. Though there were so many different moments in this where it's like you almost just block out the scenery and everything else because it's the dialogue between the characters
mm,
where they are saying so much and it's so impacting because of the emotional weight or the wisdom or even the berating, any of these things that happens and it's like, oh. So that's why it stuck with me. I mean, like I was all throughout the week I was just thinking on it. Like I couldn't get it out of my head because of
mm,
how haunting it really was.
yep. It stays with you. You think
Yeah.
about it. You're like,
Cool. Well,
Go
I'm
team.
glad you. I'm glad. I'm glad you saw it.
No, I was really looking forward to it, and I knew what it was. I mean, it's a beautiful looking film as well. Like shots. Do you think how many different shots can you have of people walking in a line on a road? But the way it's filmed, it's harrowing, and like I said, it's beautifully haunting. I think that's
Yeah, they get to that one point during one of the nights.
yeah. It's so tough because you know it's coming.
Well, no, like
I
I
have to
said,
give them kudos. Some of the deaths don't shy away from it all. You just see it
Oh,
point blank,
yeah,
and I was
yeah.
like, "Holy hell!" I was not expecting that. Yeah,
yeah. Well, and I had compared it to like Titanic in my review because you know what happens to the boat in Titanic. You know, they don't
that's why I don't
retcon.
watch the last few minutes of the Titanic anymore.
Well, fair enough. But I mean, it doesn't. Knowing what's coming made the drama before it even more so. You know, because we know, which I think is like there's a tragicness to this story where you have these people who, if you wanted to preserve your mentality and just your own best interest, you would not interact with people around you. You know what I mean? Stick to yourself. Don't talk to anybody. Don't make friends. Just plug along, because if you make friends, well, at some point, one of you is gonna, you know, what happens if it comes down to the two of you? Then what, you know? So I just, knowing it didn't bother me at all. I loved it because of